In a small town in America, there lived a 17-year-old boy named Ethan Cole. Ethan was the kind of boy people noticed. He was tall, sharp-eyed, quick with words. His teachers called him naturally gifted. His parents called him their bright star. And Ethan, he called himself unstoppable. But here is the truth about Ethan that nobody said out loud. He had never worked for anything in his life. Every morning, his alarm rang at 6:30. Ethan would reach over, tap snooze 3 times, and pull the covers over his head. By the time he finally got out of bed, half the morning was already gone. His desk was buried under comic books, snack wrappers, and charging cables. His phone screen was cracked, but always in his hand. He could spend 4 hours watching videos online, but could not sit still for 20 minutes of studying. "I'll do it later," was Ethan's favorite phrase. But later always became tomorrow, and tomorrow always became never. His dream was simple: to get into a top university and study engineering. He had the brains for it. Everyone agreed. But there is one truth Ethan did not understand yet. Dreams without discipline are just daydreams. It started small. A missed assignment here, a failed quiz there. Ethan always had an excuse ready. The teacher was unfair. The test was too hard. He hadn't slept well, but slowly, the excuses began to pile up, like unpaid bills. His best friend Marcus had the same dream: engineering school. But Marcus lived differently. He woke up at 5:30 every morning. He studied on weekends. He turned off his phone during study hours. While Ethan was watching his 3rd hour of online videos, Marcus was solving practice problems. Ethan noticed. But instead of learning from it, he told himself something dangerous. Marcus just doesn't know how to relax. I'm smarter than him. I'll catch up when it matters. But the gap between them grew wider every week. At home, things were changing too. His father, a construction worker who had sacrificed everything for Ethan's education, started coming home with dark circles under his eyes. Ethan saw it, but he never asked why. He was too busy, too comfortable, too asleep to the world happening around him. And without realizing it, Ethan wasn't just falling behind. He was disappearing from his own future. Then came the day that changed everything. It was a Tuesday in March. Ethan walked into school expecting an ordinary day. Instead, his homeroom teacher pulled him aside before first period. "Ethan," she said quietly, "I need to tell you something before you hear it another way. The early admission results for the engineering program came in this morning." Ethan's heart jumped. This was it. This was his moment. "Marcus got in," she said, "and I'm sorry, Ethan. You didn't." The world went silent. Ethan stood in that hallway and felt something he had never felt before. Not disappointment, not embarrassment, but something much heavier. He felt the weight of wasted time. He walked to the bathroom, locked the door, and sat on the cold floor. The boy who had always been called gifted stared at the gray tiles and realized something brutal. Nobody had stolen his future. He had given it away, one lazy morning at a time, one later at a time, one distraction at a time. That evening, he got home to find his father sitting at the kitchen table with a stack of bills and a look of exhaustion that Ethan had never let himself see before. His father looked up and forced a smile. "How was school, son?" Ethan could not answer. He just walked to his room, closed the door, and for the first time in his life, cried. That night, Unable to sleep, Ethan found himself scrolling, as usual. But this time, something stopped him. A short video. An old man sitting in a simple chair, speaking slowly, but with the weight of 1,000 lived years. The old man looked into the camera and said, "The mind is like a wild horse. If you don't train it, it will drag you wherever it wants. Toward comfort, toward distraction, toward sleep. But if you learn to tame it, if you teach it discipline before pain teaches it for you, that horse will carry you to places most people only dream about." Ethan watched it 3 times. He put down his phone. He sat in the dark. And for the first time in his 17 years, he had a real conversation. Not with a friend, not with a teacher, but with himself. "I've been living like the horse," he thought, "running wild, going nowhere, and I was proud of it." That was the moment. Not a speech, not a scholarship, not someone else's success. It was a quiet moment, alone in the dark, where Ethan Cole decided to become the rider, not the horse. He did not become disciplined overnight. Nobody does. The first morning he set his alarm for 5:45. He still hit snooze. But the second morning, he sat up. The third morning, he got up and splashed cold water on his face. By the end of the first week, waking early felt less like punishment and more like a quiet victory. He cleared his desk, not just the physical clutter, but the mental clutter too. He made a simple rule. During study time, the phone goes in the drawer. No exceptions. The first few days, he kept reaching for it. His hand moved automatically, like a reflex. Each time, he caught himself. He would take a slow breath and say out loud, "That is the wild horse. I am the rider." Slowly, the reflex faded. Focus replaced it. He built a routine. Study from 6 to 8 in the morning. School, exercise in the afternoon. 2 hours of focused revision in the evening. Sleep by 10. Some nights, it was hard. Some mornings, he wanted to quit. But he had a new image in his mind. His father's tired face at that kitchen table. And that image made him get up every single time. He also did something unexpected. He apologized to Marcus. "I was jealous of you," Ethan said, "but I never told you what you were really teaching me. You were showing me what discipline looks like. I just wasn't paying attention." Marcus smiled. "It's never too late to start," he said. "What matters is that you started." 8 months later, Ethan Cole sat in a different kind of chair, not on a cold bathroom floor, not in front of a glowing screen. He sat in a university examination hall. His pen moved steadily across the page. His mind was clear, quiet, and focused. Not because the test was easy, but because he had trained for this moment every single day for 8 months. 3 weeks later, the letter arrived. He had been accepted. His mother cried. His father, that tired, quiet man who had never once stopped believing in him, stood at the kitchen table and simply said, "I knew it was in you, son." Ethan looked at his father and finally understood what discipline truly is. It is not punishment. It is not suffering. It is a gift you give to the people who love you, and to the future version of yourself who will one day stand somewhere great and know exactly how he got there. Life will always be the loudest teacher. It will use failure, pain, loss, and regret to force your mind into shape. And those lessons will be real. But they will be expensive. They will cost you years. They will cost you relationships. They will cost you opportunities that never come back. Or you can choose to train your mind now. Not through pain, through choice. Not through regret, through discipline. Not because life forced you, because you decided to. Train your mind with small habits every day. Build your routine before you need it. Control your distractions before they control your destiny. Choose discomfort now so you do not have to face devastation later. Because the mind is like a wild horse, and you can either ride it or be dragged by it. The choice is always yours. Make it before life makes it for you. If this story moved you, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. It helps this channel grow and allows me to bring you more stories that can truly change your mindset. I'll be back soon with another story that might change your life. Until then, be patient, be thankful, and keep moving forward.